Hey guys, this is Stephanie Farron, the Technology Facilitator at Butler High School, and this month for Tech Talks, we're going to be looking at the use of test banks in Canvas. So before we go further, I want to talk about where we are with Canvas and where we're going. So what Canvas has been doing for us is we've been creating our own material that, yes, it was a lot of front-end work, but now for next semester when we start our courses again, we can copy that work over to next semester and we don't have to reinvent a wheel. So that's going to be really nice going forward. Also, we've been able to digitally share a lot of our materials in our PLC sandboxes. So I feel like I have more access to materials than I had previously in my bag of tricks because I'm sharing it with other teachers in my content area. However, what you may or may not have known is that Canvas is organizing behind the scenes for you your material. And so now moving forward, we're going to start looking at some advanced features of Canvas so that we can start to manipulate and strategically organize our materials to more effectively help our students. So that's what we're going to be looking at in our test banks. So you guys have been adding quizzes to Canvas. After all, we've been tasked to add some formal assessments. But what you may not know is when you go into your course, and I'll show you in just 1 minute on this video, and you select quizzes on the left-hand menu, on the top right-hand corner where you click the plus sign to add a quiz, the cogwheel will also let you manage question banks. And Canvas has been creating a question bank behind the scenes every time you import or create a new quiz. So all of those questions are sitting right there now for you to organize. So let me show you how that looks. So now I'm sitting in my sandbox course with all my quizzes that I've imported into my sandbox from last semester. And I'm going to look at my test bank. This might be something that as a PLC you all want to do since you all own the same shared questions together. Drop all of your questions into the same PLC sandbox for quizzes, and then you can manage and manipulate your test banks all together. So we're going to click the cogwheel in the top right hand corner and click Manage Question Banks. From there, you're going to see that each time you imported more questions into your sandbox, you have another question bank. So for example, I have 342 unfilled questions here from my import in May 5th. So at the end of my semester last year, when I imported my course, these are all my questions. Additionally, I imported more questions into my course on August 23rd. So I can add more questions or another question bank. I can bookmark banks and add two banks, but I can also click the unfilled questions and now start to manipulate them. So I have 342 questions in here that I can move around. I simply click over here on the right hand side and I can edit this bank in the details. So I can change the title of it. For each question, I can move and copy them to other banks. So maybe I want to make a bank of all the questions for Unit 1. Maybe I want to make a bank for all the questions that deal with a particular concept. Maybe I want to actually begin aligning my concepts with the standards that go with my course. And those are called outcomes in Canvas. And my next video is going to show you how to start creating outcomes and then align your banks and your assignments to them. So literally what Canvas has done is previous products that we've used, like SchoolNet, where we go into a test bank and we pull all the questions, and all those questions are assigned to standard. But we don't own the questions. Canvas has now done it for us. We own all the questions in our bank. We can align them any way we want. We can create our own standards, we can use the North Carolina Standard Course of Study, and we can manipulate the banks. So for example, once I make a bank that says Unit 1, then when I go and make a new quiz, I can tell Canvas that I want to pull questions from the Unit 1 bank. I want to pull 5 questions. And now I have randomized all my tests. I can randomize the questions, I can randomize the multiple choice, and it's created that database for me. If Canvas ever were to go away, there's also a free version. So all we have to do is export our content materials and then create a free version and import it right back in. So now I own my test bank that I have manipulated and I can take it with me. One last thing that I want to mention to you, besides this test bank, because this is a great tool that you guys in your PLC can now start using and manipulating together, is the help button. I think it's underutilized and we don't use it enough. So the help button's over here on the far left hand side on the red menu bar. You've got two really great options here. One is you can chat live 24 hours a day with Canvas support. So if you click the chat live, you actually put in your information and have a live person on the other end that will chat back with you. They can literally drop into your course and see what your issue is and answer your questions. Another great one is to search the Canvas guides. When you click there, you have a search bar. You can search anything you like and you can find out information. So for example, I searched how to use a question bank, and then this came up. And it literally gives me step-by-step tutorials in case I go too fast that can then help me start that again, or that process again, in Canvas. So those are two really great tools, and as we move forward in our semester, now that we're over halfway done, it's time for us to start looking at what we've put in here. Is it good material? Do we need to delete the question? Did it not work based on the data? Do we want to take these questions and align them to a particular standard or a particular goal? And then how can we make this work for us going forward? So I hope that this gives you some ideas to think about and start looking at, maybe during your breaks when we're also overeating and enjoying ourselves and our family time, but just giving you some ideas of more of how Canvas can really work for you. Have a great day.